it's terrible here.
Okay.
Okay. Oh. And right. I was getting more water now than before. Yeah. As you press on, you notice once that there's Carla makes you aware, screeching loudly, that there's someone one night by the cliffs. But seemingly, when the bird screech happens and people sort of begin to look up, nothing really comes of it.
Yeah, we saw what happened to the other guys.
As you move on for the last remaining 3 days, unmolested by those sorts of things. And eventually, in the distance, you see the end of this post, boneway, meaning the river by Winewood.
Oh, thank the Southern.
By the river, there's about another day, and then you could be at the keep of Winewood. Here, though, there's a bit of a post. There is an actual sort of inn. The last one, sort of a bastion with a guard post, where men that flies the flag of Winewood, sort of the sandy color with the sort of portcullis and chains on it. Their Dornish helmets, and they do hail you as you come from the Boneway, moving towards them. And you meet them, you see them, and they seem to ride two of them out towards you, to meet you.
Alright.
Anyone in particular will go to meet them as well.
I guess there's somebody right up.
Well, Laura will
My character
go
is
with.
11 and exhausted. She gives 0 fucks.
I'm staying here protecting.
One of them has a banner. You're like,
A what?
I assume Alaric maybe has our banner.
Alaric would have his.
What?
He-
His banner
it's
is a modified version of our banner.
yeah.
Shows our colours.
It's gonna bear our colours, huh? I'll remember this.
It's his
Well, you need
colours.
some sort of page or squire to.
Yeah, I need a.
If only we,
Generally,
I need a squire.
only we haven't.
You want me to do it?
No, it's. I guess.
it's an
it's
honor
fine.
to carry the banner of the house.
I mean, it's on like the wagons and stuff. I would imagine.
You
We'll
want me
figure
to-
it out, basically.
I'll
Right, well,
carry the banner.
Hooray! We have a banner carrier.
Woohoo!
as you move forward, they ride to meet you.
Oh, it's you!
Seize them!
One of them, riding up and sort of saying, "Halt and hail! Who wishes to enter the lands of Winewood? Who treads the way?"
We are a party set out from the Winter's Respite, the domain of House Caladan. We come on the invitation of Lord Ironwood himself. We are expected.
Quick check on your things. There's enter then the lands of Winewood with the on the protection of the king's peace. I'll say, and then he'll hand you a water skin that seems to be overflowing with cold, fresh water from a nearby well.
Decim will say, "We have injured in the wagons from attacks in the Boneway. Is there a maester nearby?"
The closest maester would be at Winewood.
He nods. Understood.
It's a day's move from here. You keep a decent pace. You can rest here. We're instructed to. Well, we're glad to welcome Marshal Lords.
Guess I will take a sip of the water if that is the custom.
That's when the greatest plot of House
Yeah.
Peak comes into
It's
effect.
great, cold. Poison. Oh.
Peak.
It's great, cold water. It is pretty damn delicious after having the like really sort of lukewarm.
And that's like
Water.
stale old water.
You've had now scraping the bottom of the barrels. Literally, you have pretty much after today you'd have nothing left. So it's really like the bottom, the barrel that has got a little sand in it and such.
Mm.
But this is great. You know,
So,
you
so
don't.
bringing the wagon
This is probably like the best water you've ever tasted.
Well, I guess we're gonna resupply here then. If we're down to our.
There's a well, and there's shadow, and there's a bit of grass, like yellowed grass here too.
Horses. Stampede horses.
We're like, holy shit, this is the first grass we've seen in weeks.
Do not look forward to the trip home. The train.
Can't be this bad, right?
It can't be as bad as the first time, right?
Where he's like led to the water by the horse. Like,
Yeah.
The horse just does its own
More
thing.
Aragon thing where it kneels down. Puts her hand lay in the water.
Aww.
yeah.
The water's edge. The river is quite strong, but there's sort of a well nearby that has sort of the calm water that can be moved up. Other than that, you can pretty much drink from the river. It's sort of a little brown due to the sort of rust of the mountains and the dust. But other than that, it is cold and refreshing. And yeah, there's also a nice bridge here because they had one of those built too.
Insert face into water.
Want to jump in the water?
No. No,
I
the
can
very
swim.
You
know,
can
he's
spend
strong.
you can spend the day as it happens to be, probably also the night, because now you don't need to travel at night anymore, really. Here to get rid of all the heat problems. 'Cause you
Yes.
can
Nima's jumping into the water.
and like be super full of water.
Alaric has no idea why you guys are playing.
Keep filling everyone up with water.
Barrels.
Everin. Just
Just put him in it.
Just put him in the water. Job fucking done.
pictures in there, right?
This will certainly make him stronger, and he'll actually reach the point where he can walk. But his hand is still throbbing, and his arm is just it feels much weaker than it was.
Well, it's because damage.
Father
Don't worry, we'll get
doesn't have much money.
get the maester to take a look at it. Don't worry.
Is it unheard of jumping into the water?
Could you ask the guards?
No. I'm just. Is that what Nima think? Oh, Nima probably wouldn't care. No, she's.
I mean, Reachlenders have, they're fine with like nobly skinny dipping and giggling and such.
Nima's not noble.
No, but that's like
Yeah, but-
that's like the general thing.
It's quite
I
common
don't know
to
if you
jump
can
in.
swim though, so it's not as
Yeah.
dangerous for you as for many other people who.
Well, Nima will jump into the water. Someone will probably
Catelyn
yell at.
and Nalia will look at it longingly, but they're nobles. They can't just.
No, terribly.
Someone will probably yell at Nima if she's not allowed.
Yeah, but the guards only don't say anything. They might look, but they don't say anything.
can
They're
look.
sort of weirded out a little bit. But
That's the
if the nobles don't say anything, then they don't care.
That's will
Yes.
whisper. Bravo, see.
She can swim around the river.
That's what Bree will whisper to herself in her dry throat.
She sticks her face down into the water.
Pretty much.
It is refreshing to spend a
It
day
is
here.
pretty cool to be Bravosi. Not being able to swim.
It also is pretty cool putting my head in this water.
Nice and cool.
Oh,
I mean, it's probably not even really cool. It's just much better than the dry.
It's a matter of like relativity.
You do get a little sort of brown face from it, but whatever.
Whatever.
Who even cares? Yeah. A day spent here. Well, we'll get rid of that. You're feeling much refreshed,
Oh, yeah, I've been swimming.
and the guards here are very nice. They sort of have their campfire. They seem to really have a great job, in a way. There's like 3 of them. They hang out here at the watchtower.
I
They
mean,
have food. They have water, and they welcome people who arrive, giving them or water, because that's generally what people want.
So long as the King's Peace holds, I mean, they
Yeah.
have no like job
Pretty good.
pressure.
Like this place was built by the king, and they're paid like in honor of the king. It's not bad, not bad at all. Once this, I mean, you can probably look around and see that there are like ruined things and such. Once there wasn't a bridge here, there was just like a place to cross the river, and it was highly sort of. It was a very defensible location. You could keep people in the boneway. They would have to basically push forward to smash into whatever you put here. But right now it's been completely disarmed, because who needs defenses when there's peace?
If our house falls, I'm getting a job here.
Yeah. In the King's Pierce, why wear pants?
So these guys are happy. They have ale, and if you ask for ale, they will even offer you a bit of ale instead of just water. But most people are thirsty enough to just drink so much water that
Lorik has been faring well, so he'll have ale.
it's yeah, it's they're good fellas, and they will certainly ask for news from both you and your people of what's going on. If you were harassed on the boneway, they'll
We were.
usually think that you were, because most people with this caravan size are.
Set upon by bandits.
Some people who travel smaller groups, like 3, can get around fast enough that they don't really get harassed. People who travel like huge, massive groups will just have like pot shots hit them or something. This sort of size is generally the most dangerous one, because it's kind of easy to stop the caravan, and sometimes most people in it might be like merchants and something that have like gone together. But you certainly seem to be more heavily armed than such. So. Also, you don't like carry corpses, or like you don't seem completely out of hope. So that's also a good sign. Well, all in all, that's a good amount of attrition. The cold fact. Generally the worse. Although he's probably been dug up, and like if he had anything on him, then that's probably
That's terrible.
We took anything about it.
probably yeah. Put it in the wagon. Oh, the next day, I suppose. Traveling a day now. It's wonderful being able to see.
Yes, hitting my brand.
Like, it seems like it's so green and lush, but really it's kind of just brown and yellowed. But not
Like
the
compared to the
boneway.
Reach, this is rubbish. But compared to the
complete
boneway,
rubbish compared to the reach. It's dry, and what trees are here are sort of small bushes that are sort of full of spikes. I mean,
It is the most verdant spikes I've ever seen.
yeah, you certainly wouldn't really know how to forage here, which has also been a problem before when invading. That the area is so different that you don't really know what can be eaten. Strange land indeed. But you've braved the Red Mountains and the worst of it, and if you travel the next day, you can certainly get to see the fortifications of Winewood. I was about to say Will there, but Winewood.
We have done a terrible mistake.
there'd be some shit if we fucking
We
saw the
turned
Herald
around.
House.
Damn.
Wow. So that was the river.
Yeah, turned around at the one way. Yeah.
2 weeks just in a circle. Alright, well, we press on to Ironwood. Because there's a mace there, and he needs to take a look at...
In the distance, it is very flat. Sort of not very tall at all. It lays on a very rocky foundation, and you'll know from the stories that presumably there are tunnels under this keep, connecting it to like many other hidden outposts and outcroppings and whatnot all over this part of the mountains, this part of the river, maybe even close to the river. Some would say even to the other side, as like have bandits and such have a tendency to, whenever you move your army here, they can attack you and then disappear. And such. It is a great fortification. If you get over the river and besiege it, it is not. Its walls are pretty low. If you actually bring ladders and such through the boneway, then you will have a pretty easy time of taking it. But the boneway is its natural defense, and it is really just here to keep you on it until you die from it. the river being the most strong defense, which has been dismantled. Fancy that.
Bringing fucking siege equipment through the Boneway, Christ.
That is what you'll have to do. There's no real forest here to build it from. That or timber and artisans and engineers and whatnot. This is terrible, because you'll have to travel really slow then.
Let me just wheel the siege towers through the Boneway. Ah, no.
Take about, you know, and then bringing it, ford it over the river, dismantling it. And invading Dorne isn't a good idea, generally. It has proved to be a terrible idea every time it's
What
happened.
if we had dragons? So, like,
That
if we
made
had,
it easier, but then they killed it. So,
we need dragons. We need
Well,
dragons.
I mean, we'll
Let's
go
get
to
some
Valyria.
dragons.
Let's go to Valyria, really. After the Boneway, how bad can Valyria be?
I know I have the white hair now. I just don't think we can fly.
they're looking at so the river we have to ford now is made of lava.
Yeah.
Well, Linus,
It's like I'm
you
flying
lead the charge.
Oregon Trail. I'll wait until conditions improve.
Oh, now there's like
Conditions improve at the lava
now there's
river.
like a great scale
Oh,
ash
no.
storm.
Can I pay the Indian 3 sets of clothing to ferry me across the river?
My
I just
skin is
like the
falling
idea.
off now.
I just like the idea of like I see the lava river, I settle down until the conditions improve. It's a good weather. Here's the lava, doesn't seem that
And that is
smoldering
how the
today.
city of was founded.
I just talk to like other settlers and prospectors
Yep.
who are like waiting to like move across.
Like this sort of grayscale crazed ghoul man.
Alright.
Hello.
Alright, so Gates of Wyronwood.
Yes, you want to move to the gates.
Yes.
And luckily you find them open, as it is not wartime and there's no reason to really keep your gates closed constantly.
Holy shit.
By people.
Open
Hello,
gates?
They have a double portcullis. Fancy that.
Holy shit.
And all of their banners have one too.
Kind of what they advertise on the
Yep.
The brand. Right, well, we approach.
Above
Right
their gate, you see that there's an there's like an in-moving sort of an what's it called? Like a slight indentation in the wall. You know, that's the
Okay.
word.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Where there seems to once have been like a big flat rock that's now missing, but it seems to be rather old. Beyond that, you can certainly ride in. Though you're stopped at the gate, though, and called on by the guard to state who you are and what you're doing here. Basically,
We state these things. Similar to what we stated
tell the
before.
truth.
We tell the truth, yes.
All right. Well, yeah. All right. That seems to work with him. I mean, you have the history and everything.
Well, that's
It would suck to just be sent away, wouldn't it?
It would.
As it turns out, the King of Wyronwood did not request you, and
No, we don't. You should leave.
fucking peak sent us down here.
And
Yeah.
have to forge letters. Get people to go. But actually, the King of the Lord of Winterfell would like to see you.
Could you imagine how long?
Actually real.
Like, if that was real.
Stark's gonna have to speak with someone other than us because
Yeah.
He's just gonna have to
the
fucking
answers
wait.
are our
God
liege
damn it.
lord and Lord Stark ain't our liege lord.
You can leave that caravan there now, because all the guards and such are not gonna let you go.
Longthorn approved it, he thought it was hilarious.
Kid tested, Longhorn improved.
He
Yep.
was never like a super great joker though, so.
No, okay.
Everin is gonna stay with the guards as well. Sir Ryman is gonna stay with the guards as well. The girls will come with you, probably?
We
They're
would like to request, at least Desmond would request that the Maester of the House Iron would take a look at Everin.
Oh, sure.
Um,
Oh, Alaric's just gonna ride into the courtyard, huh? Alright.
Well,
There's like a clearance sign like above like the double gates.
Generally you greet people on eye level, if
Yeah.
possible. Although for him it's not.
it's like impossible for Alaric to greet
but
at
it's
eye
better
level.
than being on his like monster
Shouldn't-
bear horse.
yeah, you can
True.
compound the.
That's right. That's
Yeah.
when they shoot you off.
Like, rude.
Look at this fancy sand palace.
Okay.
Look at Desmond Caladan. He's number one.
I don't know where we're walking, so.
It is just to give you an idea what it looks like. You can be over here, and you're a bit small, but you know that's fine. It's just an illustration.
Oh, Linus up front.
Like, what way are we facing so that we can arrange?
I assume.
North, yeah? Autobots.
There are guards around, but I don't want to put tokens down for all of them.
No.
It doesn't matter anyway.
Do they?
God.
Girls.
You would be interested in those, Halldamir.
Where's the
No,
nearest
ladies.
brothel?
Most guards are women. Yeah, I mean, that's a thing.
That's
How
true.
colors to it all.
How
Very, very
Dornish.
effeminate men. Not really. I mean, it would be strange if they were women, right? What the hell are they doing here?
What the hell are the women doing with spears and?
Alaric is
Like,
like,
Maybe House
the colours
Wirewood has like a
descent.
manpower shortage.
So they introduce women power.
That thought, I think. Brave insult.
Well, someone suddenly comes down. He has to say hello.
Oh.
He's flanked by a pair of his
Rearrange.
oh,
Rearrange.
Messed it up.
where do they want the girls?
Middle. Or like there, yeah.
Real protected.
Yes. The brawler can stop anything.
Actually, after what they've fucking seen and like heard, they should be terrified.
They are, you know, the older girl kind of is sort of holding the hand of the younger one. Yeah. She's kind of excited, but also kind of scared, and this is also getting very real. This whole going to Dorne and get married thing. Maybe a bit of cold feet is happening. You know, and also like it's a very foreign land, and it's scary.
I mean, she was already in a foreign land, so I mean,
True.
This is a very foreign land. He's never been told about what this would be like. I mean, he's been told there's knights in the reach and straight, but Dorne? It's never been common. But he will walk to you. Does anyone have any sort of knowledge of heraldry? Maybe like a status test?
I mean, I could do a status test.
I can do a status test.
I want to do it.
Oh.
See if you might know, well, who this guy could possibly be.
Just
We'll
need
probably use a
check.
knowledge. And,
nope. I don't fucking know. I'm too busy like, thank Jesus there's water. Thank the seven. Thank the seven there's water.
If knowledge is the thing I use, I would add another 5 to that result.
It's a status.
well, only Lanus would probably know then about the real sort of lord of Winewood, and this guy certainly isn't that one, because the Lord of Winewood is pretty damn old. Yeah, so he's not that one. He could be one of his sons. Lord Winewood does have 2 sons. We're both unmarried. As you might remember.
Which is why we're here.
Well, it's why these two are here.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say,
Well,
metagame
mainly
wise,
this one.
speaking as someone who's not interested in men, that dude looks attractive.
He's a handsome man.
He
Look at
does.
him.
No, I have to agree, actually.
He looks, those blue
Dornish
eyes,
man.
he's straight from Arrakis.
Yeah,
He is very handsome, yeah.
walks towards you. He's sort of he is rather tall, mostly clad in sort of loose-fitting cloth dress. It looks very nice. It sort of has a deep colors, but clearly expensive from the amount of colors it shows. Not really clothing you're used to, but it might be very good for the sort of heat and hot environment, and also might not get as much sand in all the unpleasant places as your own clothes does.
Not mine, but yours.
He's wearing a pair of sandals, and he sort of has a slightly darkened skin. Probably some part of him is sand or salt Dornish instead of a purebred stone Dornish, which are usually people who have the same complexion as your own. He seems fairly strong, and he seems to have sort of a wizened glint in his eye, as if he seems to find this amusing in some way. He wants to watch you. He seemed to be unarmed and unarmored completely. His guards, however, are wielding spears and have sort of a long chain dressing going on. Yes, he will walk up to Lanus, I suppose, is the one leading the party.
Lanus will kind of push himself a little bit forward, you know, to stand out slightly. Of course, he is not dressed in anything as fancy. He's still dressed in his swords on his side. Though he's trying to walk and look presentable, trying to keep his composure and give out some kind of, aura of authority. Trying. I'm probably looking up to him since Lanus is quite short. So.
He says, welcome to Winewood. It is a pleasure to have you as my guests, although I am saddened to say that my father could not be here. I have the honor of being Lothan, House Winewood. How may I serve you all? Sort of, give you a bow, respectfully.
I'm ashamed to say that our Lord equally could not make it to this. Though we're here on the invitation given by your father. I am Lanus. Bounce. We have travelled quite the distance to meet this invitation.
By all means, then, if you wish, you can have a bit of a bite to eat, maybe something to drink. In the olive garden. Sort of gesture his hand to a side.
Lanus will nod. That sounds great. I'm sure my family will agree with some rest after, such a trip.
Sort of a gesture for his guards to lead the rest of you, like, I'll say like over here. But it's a little patch inside the sort of very flat area, a little plateau, where you can sort of see there's crenellations, right, sort of in the same height as sort of the ground, basically. It's built on a plateau, so there's basically a chest-high wall with crenellations on it. The ground working and the cliff below working as a wall by itself. In here, there's planted several olive trees. They're very sort of low bushes with these dark fruits on them. In the middle, there's like a round stone table with some stone benches on it. Some like large like blankets I brought out for you to sit upon. And you're also given what seems to be in the middle of the table a large wooden bowl with different types of what you presume is local fruit, and then a cask of some sort of sweet-smelling liquid and glasses. Presumably, you would then just pick stuff from the middle bowl and pour something in your glass.
How incredibly exotic.
Yeah, from these servants here. Sit down.
Has Alaric's son been tended to?
Yes, Alaric is not, but his son is.
Yeah, but is his son being tended to?
Yeah, he was told that the maester would be sort of over here as he walks with Lanus a little slower. Means so you came off the Boneway then.
Yes.
I hope you did not have too much trouble.
We encountered some minor issues. We got some wild dogs, and we at one point we had some archers shoot down at us, but we were mostly prepared for that. We only had minor injuries for the most part.
That is good. Most people do not fare so well, especially this time of year. We are told to watch over the way, but we are not allowed to arm it. He sort of frowns. This is dark times, truly. Regardless, my Lord Father left a few days ago for House Jourdain. We had expected to see you earlier from our invitation, if you would come at all.
We're sorry, we had to rest for short times. Those who did get wounded needed immediate attention.
I suppose travel can be problematic, especially for those who are not used to traveling in these regions. We are slightly surprised that you agreed to come at all. Most martial lords do not appreciate our ways and our traditions.
If the king's peace is to pass, we must learn to respect the culture on both sides of our border, should we not?